Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I too am excellent. I jumped in a little late, so I don't know what your subject or topic is, if there even is one, but I'm always
Yes,
willing to talk.
yes. The subject. So basically, I read a piece that I posted on Facebook yesterday, and long story short, it's the lyrics of the song "Dust in the Wind" and some commentary about how enjoying the moment and focusing on the moment is the only real option that we have.
Oh man, that is fantastic. So that fits right into uh, my weekend for sure.
Oh, do tell.
I do love um, that song. Yeah, I think a lot of times songs, their meanings get lost because people are just singing the lyrics, listening to the song, having a good time, which isn't all bad. But so my daughter got married in March,
Hmm.
and she wanted to get married on 32123, which I
Ha.
thought was cool. And then, it was I think they planned it in November, December, and so everybody could make it to the reception in June. So
Hmm.
we had that Saturday. It was a great time. But at the wedding, my son-in-law, my new son-in-law, he's a cigar smoker. Um, I got him a nice Zippo lighter, and I had it engraved. And he loves Fast and Furious, and it basically said, well, not basically, Chocolate Yoddah. It actually said something to the point of, the most important thing in life is family, the people who are in this room right here, right now.
Mm.
And I tried to stress that in my toast, my speech, whatever you might call it,
Right.
because that's what you're going to be able to lean on. And like you're talking about dust in the wind, I mean, when you put it into perspective, we're not here all that long. And, there was a question on wisdom. It's, gosh, what was it? Oh, someone asked me, it wasn't a wisdom question, but someone asked me, what do I want to be known for? And I said, I don't want to be known for anything. I want to be known by these
Mm.
specific people. Everyone, when I was 25, I wanted to change the world and have this huge impact. And it wasn't until maybe I was 30 that, I can have an impact on the world, but it's my world, and my world is a bit smaller. So I didn't want to focus on this enormous task and miss out on those that I could have a direct impact um, that that were closer to me.
Right.
And I think sometimes we think about, man, what can I do? And I just didn't want to miss out on the family, on the friends, on creating memories. I'm not a big buy things person. I like creating, memories, because that's what's going to last, at least in my opinion.
Sure.
And there's a lyric I can't remember. Oh, nothing lasts forever, but the earth and sky slips away. Um, your money won't another minute buy,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yep.
And it's just very pertinent, especially today, because we live in a now society. And, you know, I work with restaurants, and, when I was in business school way back in the day, you used to be able to, if you had a good time, you might tell 2 or 3 people. If you had a bad time, you might tell 10 or 12. Well, now you can tell 100,000 people
Yeah.
about your experience before you even get to the car.
Right.
And that's the kind of society, that we live in. So, seeing all those people and being able to give a speech and talk directly to a daughter and her new husband, but, having everybody listen, and it's a gift. Sometimes it's a gift and a curse, but, when I get up in front of people and I tell some jokes, everyone's having a good time. But, I started out by saying, anytime someone hands me a microphone, I'm standing in front of people, everybody expects a joke. And not today. I want to tell you a story. And did I have a joke in there? Yes, I had one. But when I say I'm going to be serious, it's like you and I probably remember the E.F. Hutton commercials.
Yeah.
When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
Yeah.
And so it's a gift when I can get up there and say, hey, for all intents and purposes, I'm going to be serious. And everybody's kind of like, okay, he's going to be serious. Let's, pay a little more attention. So to be able to share, like that, everything's fleeting, everything's going to be gone by. I mean, Chocolate Yoddah, I turned 50. I never thought I would make it past 21. I made some poor choices as a teenager. But man, my oldest kid is 27. Like, it just goes by.
It does. I agree. Yeah.
I just, I try to tell my kids that, and they all still think, my oldest doesn't, but everyone else thinks they're, 9 foot tall and bulletproof. But it catches up fast.
Yeah, that's interesting because when I was a child, I paid attention to older people, and one of the things that you didn't hear from the beginning was that I started understanding the idea of death when I was 9 years old. So I was never one of those teenagers that thought he was going to live forever. In fact, it's interesting. I told my son just a few weeks ago that I thought I would be dead by 22, and now I'm 59, and my son is 38, and it all goes by very quickly. And I have 3 grandchildren, 13, 12, and 11, and it's wild. It's wild how things keep moving, and I think perspective is important. I learned a while ago that it takes a rock 100,000 years to become sand. So, it's all relative, and our 75 to 100 years is kind of nothing compared to that. And then it's even more nothing compared to the age of the earth, and even more nothing compared to the age of the universe. So, now is all that matters. And, trends and fads come and go, and people are going to focus on different things or whatever. Now technology has enabled us to communicate at an unprecedented level. But, one could argue that less is being said than ever before. There's a lot of noise, but very little substance. So, that's always been the case. I mean, telephones were supposed to be the ruination of society, so were televisions. So I just don't worry about that stuff because people are what they've always been, and technology isn't going to change that. Technology changes what we can do and how we can do it, but the software that's installed in us before we come out of the chute, that stuff is still the same as it ever was.
Yeah, and as I finish up here, one of the things that I think made Einstein brilliant was his ability to explain things in the slowest, most understandable way. And he was talking about time and relativity, and he said,
when you sit with a nice girl for 2 hours, you think it's only a minute, but when you sit on a hot stove for a minute, you think it's 2 hours. That's relativity.
Thanks for having me on, brother. Always good to talk to you.
Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it. And it looks like no one else is in the queue, but to the people that are listening, Diamond Rowan, Magnificent Aquarius, Sharon, Truly Julie, Patrick Dems, of course we just heard from the Fake Imposter, Salty Coffee, Michael J., and Lindsay May. Oh, hey, everybody. Speaking of Lindsay May McKay, maybe she'll come on if she's still listening, but she and I just did a podcast on Saturday. We recorded it. It was not live, except for the two people doing it. But, you know, she's someone that I've came across in the Wisdom app, and was always interested in her content. And so I invited her to come on and do my podcast, and she did. And also on the same day, that morning actually, I posted the most recent podcast that I recorded with Greg from Greg's Take. And so far I've got two with Greg from Greg's Take, and I have one with Sharente Carr and her husband, Leroy. So if you want to catch those three, they are free on Patreon. So you can go to patreon.com/thepersistentrumor, and you can see those videos. And hopefully within 2 weeks, I will have edited the one I just did with Lindsay May. I think you're going to find it to be very, very interesting. We talk about men and women, and her podcast episode that was titled "The Power of the Pa." You know the rest. But anyway, I guess nobody else is coming on. So thanks everybody for listening. Peace, love, and granola. Talk to you soon.